Hey, what's going on, guys? Over here in the box with my boys, Animal and Frog Hunter S. Thompson,
Hey, hey,
myself,
hey.
Andres. You got Animal right here at 66.95. You have Frog Hunter S. Thompson at 16.73, and myself, Andres, at 13.25. We're gonna go ahead and take a little breakdown of the Coingeek Conference London HandCash presentation. We saw it live just like we did with the Twitch, and it is pretty exciting. A lot of big
Yeah,
things happening with HandCash. What do you think, Animal?
yeah, it was a really great presentation. I thought these guys did a really awesome job. I'm excited to watch it again, kind of get some commentary on it. But some really cool stuff these guys. I mean, just for especially just for a wallet app, they're doing some really innovative stuff. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Under what do you think from have seeing the presentation before we let this go ahead and kick off? What is one of your favorite things about the new
I
HandCash
mean,
presentation that they got going on here?
that basically that they want to be a wallet for all these apps. So instead of just being a wallet to dig around some money, it will be the underlying um, wallet for all these apps on their Connect site or whatever they're doing. I think it's really exciting. I'm excited to try it.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and let's let these guys kick off. I believe they're going to start off with Rafa here, one of his first presentations. And if you guys feel the need to say stop really quick, I want to talk about something that I hear in regards to this. Um, we'll do that just like we did with the breakdown for the Twitch Elon Moist interview. And aside from that, we'll just let these guys talk. Ready?
Cool. Let's go for it.
Let's do it.
Good.
Hi everyone, and thank you for coming. As we all know, Bitcoin is back, and this is making possible that all of these amazing developers are coming to Bitcoin to create apps that we all love. They are using micropayments to discover new business models that they were not possible before, and many of them are yet to discover. But there's something that we have to face. Right now, being a developer on top of Bitcoin, it really sucks. And this is something that me and my team have to experience at the beginning, because there's no ready-made products that you can just integrate to focus on create what you want to create on top of Bitcoin. So we have right now like two different ways of building products. One is like the buttons in general. They are very cool to like working as a paywalls on browsers, but they are like limiting where like in the platforms that you can work or at what you can do. And in the other side, we also have like the toolkits and protocols, this kind of solution, that they give you more flexibility because you can actually integrate them in your backend, but they have they require a lot of domain-specific knowledge, and also at the same time, you have to decide if you want to become custodial or not. You have to, be going through all these regulations, and this is something that developers, they don't want. They just want to focus on creating their apps. So after all this time and being in the ecosystem and trying to create some other apps, we came up with a third idea, and this new idea is HandCash Connect. HandCash Connect is a fast and flexible solution to create everything on top of Bitcoin. And this is the first Bitcoin SDK to develop apps on top of Bitcoin. So in this graph, we have like the two most important features that any developer considers when trying to integrate something to create apps. One is the time savings, of course, and in vertical, we have like the customization of the UI. We think that the buttons are
All
like
right, let's
in the
pause for
bottom.
just a moment here.
They
So one thing that I'm thinking about with this, this is a really awesome thing that they're doing, really smart move by HandCash, because everybody's trying to get their hands on the next big app for Bitcoin. But so many developers are being held up by, you know, do I make my own wallet? How do I integrate with the blockchain? You know, all the protocol to get it done. So to eliminate that and kind of say, hey, we're going to take over the whole kind of Bitcoin blockchain side of this. You just build an app just like you would for Apple or Google or anybody else. And I think that's a really sweet move on HandCash. They're kind of saying, you know what, we're going to be more than just a wallet. We're going to be a platform to develop on. Really nice move. It's going to make integrating into all these apps really smooth. Just going to make just using and signing
seamlessly.
up for
That's
all
a
these
whole
apps.
thing that they don't even have to worry about at all.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. It's kind of win-win for everybody. You know, it's easier for the consumer because it's less times you have to sign your name. It's easier for the developers for obvious reasons, and better because, you know, they don't even have to worry about that entire side of things. They'll be getting their little micro payments automatically. It'll just all be taken care of. And then HandCash ultimately wins like crazy as well. So, yeah, just a really nice move.
Yeah, that's definitely top notch. What do you think, Hunter, about the entire integration of making it simple? Like, don't worry about this, guys. Hold my beer. We already did this. Develop your app. Hunter, you there?
Yeah, brother. I
What do you
want to
think?
keep going with this. I'm just excited about the presentation moving onward. I don't have too much to say about that besides what I already said. Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's let it go ahead and roll.
They help you to save some time, but you have like a very few constraints because you are limited to the web browsers. And then the toolkits, we think that they give you like more flexibility, but then you have to learn a lot about Bitcoin. You have to be deciding if you want to be custodial, non-custodial, or if you want the users to, you know, to be exporting the private keys and everything. And we think that this is not something that scales, because if for every app that I'm like creating an account, I have to be responsible of my private keys, this thing just doesn't scale. So we think this is the place for HandCash Connect. We want it to be something completely different to these two solutions. We want it to be fast, and we want it to be like completely unlimited, so you can build anything on top of Bitcoin. We are talking here about, in some cases, about a 90% shorter time to market, which we think is a lot. And how the hell is that possible? Well, we packaged these like very basic 6 features that every app needs to build on top of Bitcoin. We are very excited, especially about promise payments, because it's, for the first time, we are creating abstraction on top of payment channels. And one of our things here is we are very committed with any developer in the world to make it really, really easy. So for one of these different modules, what you have is a very simple code snippet that is almost in plain English, so any developer has to go through all the process to learn Bitcoin. Because at the end, what they want is just to focus on building their apps. We see this as playing with Legos.
Hey, will you pause it
because
right
you
here?
have like
Andreas?
all these,
Yeah.
you got encryption, you got
Yeah, I mean,
data.
I got to pause. Go ahead.
Yeah, so a couple things. You know, shortening the time for developers to build the apps is crucial. It saves so much time. It gets stuff out there faster. And
That's
then
huge.
that in combination with the ease of use for the everyday user, the everyday person that's downloading apps and working with apps built on Bitcoin, the one-stop shop of by the way, the name Connect is perfect. And it's a great brand off of HandCash. But that combination, so they're appealing to the everyday user that doesn't even necessarily need to know about Bitcoin, the simplicity of use, the key to adoption, simplicity to use, right? And then they're also appealing to the most technical people that are doing all the developing on top of the on chain. So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. A great marketing strategy to go for both. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, let's help the developers.
Yeah,
And then
extremely
also,
quick. They could be greedy with their innovations and hold back, and they don't have to be kind and let people probably use this. However, knowing that right now, this is the beginning of Bitcoin applications. Less than a year now, that applications have been being built or something to that effect. So with them being so kind and letting anybody use this feature so they could just focus on building their app is going
You
to
know,
cut
that's such
the
a common theme too. They're not the only ones doing that. Across this entire BSV app community, everybody's kind of just like, you know,
giving
trying
out
to play as
SDKs,
nice. Yep.
toolkits, this,
Twitch
that.
has an
Yeah.
SDK. Yep,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
So for everybody to be just trying to say, hey, let's, you know, we challenge you to come do this better all the time. Is just really
the amount that HandCash Connect is going to save developers is going to exponentially help blow up the app community in BSV. I say we let this go ahead.
definitely.
I say let's let
One quick
Rafa.
thing, just really quick though, on that last little slide, there's one of the things said identity and login. Okay, so imagine just like anything else, you go into so many websites and applications nowadays. It says log in with Google, log in with Facebook, log in with Twitter, that kind of thing.
Correct.
You're gonna get log in with HandCash, and then
Which
you're
is
off
going to
to
be
the races.
beautiful.
Oh,
Yep.
that's beautiful. That's a thing
Yeah.
of beauty. Anyways, carry on.
Let's let Rafa go.
About Bitcoin, we are very excited, especially about promise payments, because it's for the first time we are creating abstraction on top of payment channels. And one of our things here is we are very committed with any developer in the world to make it really, really easy. So for one of these different modules, what you have is a very simple code snippet that is almost in plain English, so any developer has to go through all the process to learn Bitcoin. Because at the end, what they want is just to focus on building their apps. We see this as playing with Legos, because you have like all these small pieces, like you got encryption, you got data ownership, you have promise payments, and then you can combine everything to build whatever you want. There's no limits in here. Also, all these APIs interact with one amazing infrastructure that is doing everything for you. This is what we call HandCash Cloud. HandCash Cloud is a solution that we are using right now in our products. So you know from day one that this is scalable, this is secure, and also it's almost in a daily basis. We have upgrades. So we think like this is something really cool. You don't have to be like building your own infrastructure and be dealing with all of this. So you can focus on creating your own thing. Also, HandCash Connect is a solution that you integrate in the backend. And this gives you completely freedom to build on top of any platform. And most importantly, to build native apps. So there's no limit. And there's something important here, because for iOS developers, if you are an iOS developer, you probably know that if you are trying to integrate some web views inside apps, it's something that Apple is actually starting to disallow. And there's going to be an end for web views inside iOS apps. So we don't want to set limits anywhere. And also we are also really excited about virtual reality, because now this is possible. And we think it's really cool to have like the first like Oculus app working with Bitcoin. Also,
I'm gonna pause that there really quick. That actually sounds pretty dope, that there's gonna be Bitcoin Satoshi vision, being that it's Turing complete, whatever the case is, and that they could build apps on it, all this cool stuff. To think that who thought last year that there would be some type of a Bitcoin application on an Oculus Rift. I definitely know. I never thought there would be an app on Oculus Rift for Bitcoin. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, that came quick. I got to tell you, that's pretty insane.
That kind of that almost went over my head the first couple of times. And now that I'm paying attention, yeah, they're talking about building an app on an Oculus Rift, and Bitcoin Satoshi Vision works with virtual reality. That's pretty cool. You got any thoughts about that, Hunter? I'll let
No,
it
you're
go.
not.
I'll
No,
let it
I'm
go.
good. I'm good. Keep playing it. Keep playing it.
Let's go.
I mentioned it's very important to be non-custodial. We don't want developers to be dealing with these issues and the regulations and all these responsibilities. And it's something that we, from the beginning, had in mind to design this solution. Then, of course, this is about exploring new business models that were not possible before. It's not just what we are like very used inside Bitcoin right now, that is like the paper action. Now you can create things like you can charge people for like every minute or something that, or some service that you're providing. Imagine a Wi-Fi service that you pay like for every minute that you have. So the takeaway here is this is a solution that allows you to focus on build your own thing. No more Bitcoin jargon, no more distractions. Just focus on create the best app that you can do, guys, and we just take care of the rest. We take care of the Bitcoin part. What's the roadmap for this? We are right now in like some internal testing, internal integrations, preparing like the first bunch of apps to deliver, and HandCash Connect will be accessible to everyone, to any developer in the world, in the coming spring. And now, Alex will tell you like more amazing features about HandCash Connect. Come here, mate.
He did a pretty good job presenting kind of like the technical aspect of it. That was pretty cool. So I'm looking forward now to like kind of more of the marketing aspect. And Alex, I like Alex as a speaker. He's really cool. You guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too.
right.
Me too. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. All right. I know you were waiting for this part, Hunter. Alex is amazing. Let's go. Let's get this started.
Hello. Not bad for his first time. Another applause, please. You know, we come from Spain, so even if we have some brain farts sometimes because we are, you know, we lose our train of thought. This time we don't have notes like we cheated in the other conference, but we are just going along, improvising. So our motto in HandCash has always been...
He's a funny dude too. Love it.
Making Bitcoin for the rest of us. And with HandCash Connect, right now, we are doing the same thing that we've made with the HandCash wallet, making accessible for users. We are trying to make Bitcoin easy and accessible for developers worldwide, so they can create new kind of apps without having to learn for Bitcoin from start. What we want is ultimately to build that kind of solution.
Easy for the smart guys, easy for the dumb guys.
Yep.
Hey, I just want to build this game or whatever. I just want to add some micropayments, identity, whatever. What can I do? And our reply is HandCash Connect. So far, we are very happy about the early feedback that we're getting from developers about HandCash Connect. And I wanted to share a couple of quotes with you. So this one is from Degen. It must be in the
Baymail.
somehow. Hey, Degen. He's a great developer. I love him. He's the developer in charge of Baymail, which is a great email client app that solves many issues that you cannot solve otherwise if you don't have a payment system integrated with emails. So he said, I would have to wrap together at least 4 open source libraries, and in fact wait a few months before even starting to build the functions available here, if not for Connect. That would probably slow me down for a full quarter.
Let's talk about that for a moment, because again, I know we keep coming back to the same thing, but I think there's a good reason for it. If it was not for something like the functionalities and of HandCash and Money Button, allowing platforms like this to go ahead and make those microtransactions, those micro payments, and they had to work on their own just to build that functionality, they said it could easily hold them back an entire quarter from developing an app on BSV. So all of these wallets that are being built right now, or that have been built and are constantly adding new features to it, I think that is going to be one of the biggest reasons that BSV is going to be an easy onboarding experience and make users want to use these applications.
Yeah, for sure. It's just making things easier on everybody, you know. And you're right. We do keep coming back to it. It's the common theme, but yeah, it's an obvious thing, obvious solution. It's great that a wallet company is coming up with it. It just makes perfect sense. You know, it's just as if you had a bank that was making applications that connected right through it. If your bank made a social media, as odd as that sounds.
Or connected you, or if you sign up for your bank and then your bank tells you, hey, listen, this is how you can use Facebook, this is how you could use Instagram, by the way, you know, directly through us, or whatever the case is. I think this, what he has with apps, everybody loves apps. Yeah. Everybody loves to download apps. So having the first thing that you download as a BSV user or a cryptocurrency user, whatever the case is, a wallet. Oh, yeah. So to have that experience, even if you just run across his wallet for some odd reason and you install it, all of a sudden you have an app market within that. That is like a double. It's a win-win situation.
And there's kind of an inherent trust issue too. If you don't have your kind of one central wallet that you trust, then you're stuck with, you know, making multiple wallets and, you know, maybe a different wallet for each account for each site or each app that you join. And first off, you don't want to keep up with it, right? You want all your money in one place. And second off, you just, I mean, would you feel comfortable doing that? You know, you download an app and they're like, okay, well, throw money in here.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of users aren't going to be putting that story in the majority of their money. So I think $20 or whatever you throw in there at a time. Maybe you have another wallet that's like your storage wallet. Yeah. A couple. I don't know. I have 3 or 4 of them, dude. I have 3 or 4 wallets.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Whenever I'm low at money button, but I'm saying whenever you're low on HandCash, let's say you need more money to do whatever you're doing on your apps, you just load up $10, $20, whatever.
Yeah. No, and the cool thing is being able to just get to those apps quickly after being a brand new user, downloading HandCash. You open up HandCash and all of a sudden you're seeing all these apps you could use. I think that is going to be one of the biggest things for developers to get their apps out on the market. That's gonna completely change the game.
Yeah,
but Alex gets people excited about it. You know, Alex gets people excited about it. He's a good marketer. He's really he's a people person. I've been friends with him on Twitter for about a year, and I've seen his customer service and he's just a positive brother.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Let's let him roll on.
I think that's a pretty big deal. And then we have Brad Jasper. You might know him also as Symphonaut. He's in charge. He's should be over here too. Anyway, he's building Bit.sv, which is a great a great platform for content creators. And he said, HandCash Connect could save developers 6 to 12 months. Seriously. More importantly, it lets developers focus on what they do best, creating great app experiences. And what we are very proud of is that, you know, people are getting what we are trying to do here with HandCash Connect, and it was very important for us. But let's talk about distribution. I think this is something that's been forgotten this is a topic that's been forgotten for Bitcoin app developers for a while. So you spent a few weeks or a few months building this amazing new app, but how do you reach? What you want is to reach as many Bitcoin users as possible. So how can we do it? Well, turns out that we have a product that I'm sure most of all you already know, which is the HandCash wallet. For many, HandCash has become the entry point to Bitcoin, or at least their first experience with this technology. And what better way to distribute your apps than putting your app in front of all of our HandCash enthusiastic user base? What we want you is that you will be able to reach all of HandCash users the moment you launch your app. And for that, we are presenting today the HandCash app gallery, which will be a main section inside of HandCash, and will allow you to discover all kinds of apps and services and experiences that you can connect with your wallet. So you can just basically use your funds and identity and everything you do with HandCash and your HandCash friends. You will have a very integrated experience inside this coherent ecosystem. And we think this is great for developers because it will be very easy for you to showcase your app inside. Thank you.
That's going to be amazing.
We thought this was a missing piece. We've been working a while for this because we wanted to make sure that we don't have any issue while the approving process with the App Store especially, but we are okay. So this is how it's going to work. So you find one of these apps and you say, oh, let's check what this Twitch thing is. And you have a description of what the app does, some screenshots, you can contact the developer, whatever. It's just like one of the app stores that you already know. And if you want to connect with it, you just tap the connect button, then you approve you give the wallet, the other service permission to access your wallet funds and identity, and boom, you're in. You're already there. You don't have to do anything else. There's no QR codes
Look, oh my God,
scan.
did you notice that?
There's no more issues to
I bet you nobody noticed that.
Process. And
check this out, Frog. There's a little Easter egg right there.
What the app does,
ready?
Some screenshots, you can contact the developer, whatever. It's just like one of the app stores that you already know. And
hey, Hunter.
If you want to connect
Easter egg, what?
There's a little
button,
Easter egg.
Then you
check this out.
You give the wallet the
Hold on.
other service.
I'll show you right now.
Permission to access your wallet funds and identity, and boom.
Can you find the Easter egg?
The Easter egg? No.
Are you looking at the screen?
Yeah.
I can't see who that is. It's a little blurry on my end.
All right, so it's Reina Nakamoto. Love is a feeling of deep comfort. Ryan X Charles. Black and Blue in London. 5 of 5. And then Frog Hunter at 1673. Where? But it doesn't show your post. You see half of your icon, half of your avatar right there.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Cool Easter egg.
Damn.
All right.
Good eyes.
That's super
cool.
Frog Hunter making an appearance in Coingeek. All right, let's roll.
Come on, Alex. Pull up a little bit.
Here, let me scroll for you. Let me scroll. Oh, okay. Never mind. All right.
That's funny, man.
You're already there. You don't have to do anything else. There's no QR codes to scan. There's no more issues to this onboarding process. And another cool thing is that you will be in full control of your experience and personal about your money and personal information at any time. So for any service, you will be able to see how much money you're making, how much money you're spending, net ratio of how in total how are you in your balance, and you can choose to disconnect your account at any time. That way, you are in full control of your experience. This is another quote that I wanted to share about distribution in general. And Brad again said, HandCash has one of the most engaged user bases in all of Bitcoin. Being able to build on their platform and reach their customers gives developers a great distribution system similar to the App Store.
Very true.
And we are very proud of that, and I think it was one of these missing pieces. And these are just some of the apps that will be available in the App Store in the early stages. There are many more to come, but they didn't want me to announce publicly, because also there are a few ones that still doesn't exist, are in the works, and have been built, are being built fully using HandCash Connect instead of just another integration, and we are very, very thrilled about that too. And this is something that I wanted to remark. In HandCash, we take your security very seriously. Sometimes at obsessive levels, like coming up with things like output bills. I don't know if you read about it, but it's a pretty cool thing for protecting your privacy online. We want to make sure that you know that every developer behind every app that we have in the App Store or in the App Gallery, and every user that you will be connecting to your app, all of them are verified. They have verified identities. We think it's very important that we take
So
this
yeah,
seriously.
there you
We
go.
don't allow anonymous people to just.
That is the answer to your NSFW question, right? So, you know, one of the big topics is, you know, is it completely going to be uncensored in any way, or are you going to be banned for not safe for work content? So if you have a verification through HandCash and specific apps that you kind of know beforehand going into what you're dealing with, because honestly, I think it's a good idea for there to be some apps, and not just for kids, but just for people that don't want to see it, that you go in and you understand going into it that this app doesn't put up with that crap, and then you'll get banned for it, right?
Correct.
And I think that's okay, and I think people are okay with that. But then other platforms, I think you can be more open, and the HandCash Verify system, I think, is going to allow for that.
I definitely agree, and not only the fact that the people aren't going to be able to be anonymous or whatever the case like that. He's going to explain it really, really well, like right now. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Creating apps and making fake accounts and start all over again with all the problems that we have with the internet. And with Bitcoin, we can have this. So let me talk about. I passed 2 minutes or something. That fuck it. Anyway, I need to say this. So fast for the pricing plans of Connect. You can launch your app and start building it or whatever for free, and you up to 1,000 users, 10,000 API calls per month. If you're gaining some traction, for just $79 per month, you can have up to 5,000 connected users and 50,000 API calls. And if you're really killing it, and you get to up to 20,000 connected users and 200,000 API calls per month, it's just $2.99 per month. And we think it's a great deal, considering that you don't have right now. You don't have with Connect. You don't have to hire Bitcoin developers as such. You can hire any kind of developer. So that also makes it easier for you.
Can you take that back a second, Chris?
And focus on your.
Yeah, sure.
To the price points.
Yeah.
I want to hear that again and see that again.
Hold on, I just want to make sure I'm at the okay. Okay, so for the basic 10,000 API calls per month, 1,000 connected users, it's free. For startup, 50,000 API calls per month, 5,000 connected users, 79 per month. And then the Pro is 200,000 API calls per month, connected users 20,000. So I guess the way that works is through the app gallery, you could connect up to 1,000 users for free, and I guess they could use HandCash.
So this is for the developers, right? This is for the people
I'm
who
pretty sure this is
apps.
these are like
correct.
For developers.
Yeah, for sure.
So now if you're killing it, and you're getting,
So Twetch is going to need the $2.99 package.
more than likely, yeah. Yeah, well, they got they got over 5,000 connected users, and then I'm definitely assuming they're getting more than I'm definitely assuming they're getting more than 200,000.
This is really affordable,
API
man.
calls.
This is really affordable. If you got a big app like this is so affordable.
It's chump change. Are you kidding me? He just sold a username for almost 13,000.
Exactly. Not only that, check this out. He's giving 50% off.
Users and 200,000 API calls per month. It's just $2.99 per month, and we think it's a great deal, considering that you don't have right now. You don't have with Connect. You don't have to hire Bitcoin developers as such. You can hire any kind of developer. So that also makes it easier for you to hire the best app developers and focus on your experience instead of focusing on an infrastructure. And we want to announce that if you join HandCash Connect this year, you will have a 50% discount on the first 2 years. I think that's a pretty good deal. We are going to be very aggressive with this. We just want you to start building things and don't worry about the money. And you, please, to get started, go to connect.handcash.io and join the program. And we want to thank our partners, which are Entain and Banded Capital, Two Hub Ventures, and Coingeek, because they have helped us taking this small project that people really love from a small project to a serious company. And we started, hey, Jimmy, we are starting to monetize, yeah.
Fantastic,
Okay.
that's awesome.
Okay, so thank you all and enjoy the rest of the conference.
They definitely did a great job putting all this together.
Oh,
And
you know
to
what he
me,
forgot to do? Alex forgot to give a shout out to InTheBox. I
that's
must have
right.
forgot. I knew he was going to do that.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
he gave me a call afterwards and he apologized. He said, don't worry about it. He'll give us a shout out on Twitch once we upload this video. So Alex, you owe us a shout out. We're looking for it here at InTheBox. You did an amazing job on this presentation. You're a really funny guy with a great sense of humor. You have a big vision. You could tell you have a big heart. I know you travel through Miami sometimes, so come stop by and see me one time. That would be really, really cool. And I see a lot of big things coming for you in the future, man. You're doing.
You know what you could do with him? I know he's a big fan of basketball because every city he goes to, he always makes it to a game. So maybe you could take him to a Heat game while you're down there.
That would be amazing. I would love that.
You hear that, Alex? If you're watching this, hit up Andreas. He'll take you for some good seats to go see the Heat.
So, yeah, oh, I'm down. I'm down. I don't know how good the seats will be, but no, I'm kidding. We'll do something, man. But what do you guys think for the future of HandCash? Did he hype you guys up with what's coming?
Man, these guys I think are really fitting right into this whole mold of the next generation of really incredible just innovators in this field. You know, Josh Petty, both of these guys, Ryan X. Charles, they're visionaries, Michael Hudson, and obviously Craig Wright. What they got going on, this little team that they're building here, this community, is really special, really awesome to be a part of. These guys had an awesome presentation. They're doing exactly what they need to be. I feel like all of these little platforms are doing exactly what they need to be doing to succeed. I think this is really promising.
100% agree with you on that. As a matter of fact, we're going to be doing our next video up is probably going to be Money Button, so you guys could check out for that as well.
I can hear Ryan X Charles getting nervous on Twitch already.
You know it, baby. You know it, baby. I hope he remembered to do the shout out for us as well. We'll have to see that when we upload the next video.
No doubt.
You know what I like about what HandCash is doing is that they're helping build Bitcoin's strength by making it easy for people to develop, and so I think that's something that the more companies that do that not only are out to help themselves, but realize, hey, if we make this into something that helps everybody and solve problems like this. And I think other people are working on a lot of amazing projects that obviously we don't know about yet. I mean, Twitch does a lot, but think about what HandCash is going to do for the whole space compared to one app, right? They're trying to facilitate thousands of apps, hopefully someday or whatever, all in one space. It's really amazing.
In the app gallery, that is going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to that update on my HandCash app. But yeah. I think this is going to be definitely big for the future.
Yeah, and just really quick before we sign off of here, you know, there's a lot of people that may not have used Bitcoin in the past, but a lot of people that did use Instagram or that have used a plethora of other apps, not even necessarily social media, because social media is not the only thing that you are going to be able to build on BSV. There's tons of things you can build. You can, you know, you have like workout tracker apps that can reward you. I forget the guy's name, but he did the presentation about, it was, I think maybe part of the Shark Tank part of the whole conference, but
okay, yeah.
He
I
had
don't
like
remember his name either, but that's something we could definitely review as
like
well.
it's sort of almost Pokemon Go esque, but not really. It was like a running game, so
Uh-huh.
you could set up like little racetracks or something and plant money for people and challenge people and have live races that you can bet on and those kind of things. So um, my point is that for HandCash to be building a platform for developers to build apps on that could bring people that may have never touched a Bitcoin to Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
I think strengthens the power of the coin itself. So it's really vital. I mean, it's just sort of the lifeblood right here of what BSV is supposed to be. So they really got it right.
I had this. I put this this post on Twitch the other day, and it said, you know, we're used to. Most of us found Twitch through Bitcoin. At least I did. I found Bitcoin before Twitch, and I think most of the users on there now, that's been the order. But I think in the future, you're right, Gage Animal, that most people are going to find Bitcoin via these apps, and they won't even need to know what Bitcoin is. It'll be simplicity through adaption through simplicity, and that's when we've succeeded, is when nobody even knows what they're doing. They're just using an app.
Yep, you're nailing it, Hunter. That's exactly right.
Couldn't agree more with all of that. These guys are gonna make it seamless. And I'm dying to check out the Money Button video, seeing what we could go ahead and scoop up on there. That was a great presentation as well. What do you guys think about wrapping it up right here, and looking forward to the next one?
Yeah, I
Let's
think this was
upload
great,
this
guys.
box. Good job, guys. That was great. Thanks, Alex.
Yep. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Peace
Follow in the box.
at 7963.